Good morning, everyone. Let's wake up. Let's get at it, people. It is Monday. It is a beautiful Monday out here. This walk and talk is coming to you live from the East Coast. It's Oloropo. It's BMD Finance Fixers, where legacy starts at home. It's the start of the week. Let's take it out here, people. Let's be active. Let's be engaged. Thank you for getting up with me this morning, as always. Please, as you check in, drop in where you're checking in from, what time of day it is where you are. Let's work on getting some things done. Let's work on progress, growth, and development, people. Let's focus on the detailed behaviors that will lead to our destiny. Let's be strong, determined, and resilient. Let's be all of those things. Let's get pumped this morning, people. Good morning. How you doing? Let's get to it. As always, we are here to encourage, motivate, and support people. It's good to see you this morning. Let's get started with this walk, with this talk. Let's make Monday magical. Let's do it. Let's work with determination, people. Let's work with purpose. Are you up this morning? Are you ready to go? What did you say you were going to do that you have not done yet? Where did you say you were going to go? What are we waiting on, people? Don't wait anymore. Let's stop waiting. Let's start growing. What does change mean to you? What does it mean to change? You look at somebody, you're like, man, you changed. You need to change. Why? Who said? Good morning. How is it? I'm on the East Coast of the United States. It's 4:40 in the morning, Eric. It'll be here eventually. Just got your hair done. Congratulations. Thanks for stopping in. What's up, everyone? Let's get up, people. Let's move with purpose. I'm Oloropo. I'm on this walk this morning. I want to talk to you about something of relevance and pertinence. I said I got my hair done. I said, congratulations on getting your hair done. Stop yelling at me, Chico. Who do we have that? Is that bread rice? Bread and I don't know what that, I'm saying that wrong. First time here, welcome in. We heard you, Chico, right? We got your hair done. We read it, man. Ain't nobody mad about it. Hey guys, I'm up here this morning. As always, top of the hill. I got a little different path we're gonna take this morning, but the purpose is the same. Let's get up, let's get at it. Let's understand that we are in control of so many things and so many other people are not. There are so many people who are afraid to take control of their own lives and is creating their own demise. Oh, demise. I'm rhyming this morning, people. Don't be afraid of it. Is it braid? Bray. So just Bray. No, I don't have to do the Denoy part. I'm gonna find Chico. Thank you, Bray. What's up? Sean, if you answered this, I would like and sub. Listen, I read the chats early on in the conversations. You don't have to try to barter with me to get. I read a lot of comments. So everybody, we're up at the top of the hill. I always let you guys see what's up here. Boom, I'm up here at the top. This is my little corner. That clear up some. Let you guys see My little view, people. My little view. All right, Sean. What does Sean say? Virat, I can't read that, Virat. I don't know what that says. You one of them? Who's that? Noor? Listen, I appreciate y'all being here. I can't read foreign languages. Megatoke, where you at? I'm in Maryland, bro, Northeast United States. Most of the time when people ask where you at, it's because they're outside of the country. But I'm in United States, people. I'm on the East Coast. It's 4:44 in the morning. Zap said, bro, please shave that beard. Dude, this is distinct, dude. I just shaped it up here. Like, I don't know, I probably should go to like a barber and have him like tailor it. I can get it. Should I get it painted? Should I go somewhere and have them, paint the lines on it? Be really sharp. Be so sharp, look like I'm cutting my cheeks. All right, man. Hey, look, thank you for being here this morning. Welcome, everyone. Welcome to the wake up. Welcome to the world. Welcome to the moment. Thank you for being here. As always, I come out and do these walk and talks. Started as a way for me to be able to collect my thoughts, my mind, prepare myself on a purpose for the day, for growth and development. This morning, as I've been doing study over the weekend and during time, I've been kind of enamored lately with the word change and the use of it. So I kind of looked it up. I started studying it. I found out that the word change has kind of changed. But I also noticed something about how we use the word change. And it's funny because change has always kind of been viewed as a bad thing. If we go back to the history of the word, it's deer down here where I'm walking at right now, people. So, listen, if I scream and start running, it doesn't mean I'm scared. It just means there's deer. I'm gonna try my best not to scream and just start running so it looks like I'm working out. But those of you who are here, y'all know what I'm saying already. What's going on? Butterfly said depends on how they change. Awesome, it does, right? But how do we use it versus how does it impact someone's life, right? Because the word change comes from deer be hiding in these bushes. Then their eyes and stuff be glowing. Yeah, man. So let's look at change in this way, right? When somebody is like, hey, you changed, you hardly ever hear somebody say that in a positive way. Nobody's out here talking about you changed positively, right? They'll use something else, right? They'll say it some other way if they want to say you've made positive growth, right? They'll say, oh man, you really learned a lot. You really have grown a lot. Oh, that's really nice. I'm glad you were able to do that. You're really developing a sense, right? They have a whole bunch of other things. But when people say you changed, or when people say you need to change, it's usually as a shot. It's not designed. The word is, it's almost like the word isn't designed in the way it's currently used in the English language to be a motivation. And then the other side of it is there is an innate resistance in most humans to change. Like the thought of changing, the thought of becoming something more or becoming something different or just things not being the way they've always been, because we are creatures of habit, and comfort is as deadly and destructive as comfort can be, because comfort is where we start to lose growth. But when we get comfortable, oh man, when we get comfortable, it's hard to tell somebody, you ever gotten to bed and you covered up and it's like, it feels good, and you just get that shake where your legs, everything, you're like, one of those. Listen, I'm not crazy. I know I'm not the only one experiencing this. But when you get in the bed and cover up, and then you get a good shiver, and you nuzzle down, and the room is cold, but it's warm under the blanket, and then you're like, oh man, I'm comfortable. Oh, this feels good. I'm comfortable. And then somebody do something like ring your doorbell. You're like, man, I'm not getting out this bed. Like, I don't know who that is. That'd be my mama. She's spending the night on the porch. You know how comfortable I am right now? And then when you get out, you know the moment you get out of that comfort, I'm not getting back there. That's first lay down comfort. That's the initial comfort. I'm not getting that same comfort again. I've lost that comfort. I can't get that back. That's what makes change so hard. Is because when we get to a space where things are working the way we want them to, it is hard for someone to say, hey, you change. You need to change. Because you're like, no, my life is good. Because change has a negative viewpoint to it. The way it was used in Old English and in Latin was for someone in the market who would be a cambiare. That's someone who would want to change the terms or change the weights or change the items. It was a bad thing to be a cambiare. That's someone who's right? In the Celtic, it meant to be bent or crooked. It's literally to say not upright. It is to change. And the word was something, it's like chanungar was from the French when it arrived here in America. But in the Celtic language, I believe it was comb. It was like to go away from the straight, right? So it meant to bend, but not bend in a good way. It's to say, hey, like the leg is bent in a way it shouldn't be, or the route or the road is changed or bent. And it was like, hey, something bad has happened, and this is what it is how it was defined. I'm yapping about a lot, Phoebe. Let me see, took an extra Addy this morning. I'll never take extra. It's not a negative word, but we apply it negatively. Who is that? Noor? That's all I'm saying. I'm saying the word isn't negative, but it's often applied negatively, right? The way we use it is usually in a negative way. Phoebe said geeking. Cars World, I said, I'm your big fan. Thank you very much, Cars. Oh, we got Nappy. This energy is amazing right now. Thank you so much, Nappy. So, no, I'm not tweaking. I'm a little pumped up today. It's Monday. I had a great weekend. And this study, I'm excited about learning and growing. And a lot, as I said before, this walk and talk was me. It was a me thing. It was how I started to get my brain together for my day. It's the part of my life I took back because I found myself, and this is this year, with all the growth that I believe I've had over my lifetime, with all the ways the world has changed and I have changed. What happened at the beginning of this year, for those of you who've been here before, you know my stepdad died at the beginning of the year. And so after 40 years of being in my life, 40 plus years of being in my life, I lose my stepdad, and I'm looking at my mother and my dad and their challenges and the things they went through. I'm looking at the person I was, who I've been. I'm looking at my current life. Man, death can change you, it can have an impact on you. And I'm like, before he passed, I was already in the process of changing, right? But I wasn't necessarily growing. I was changing, but I wasn't necessarily growing. And so I started these walks because one of the things that became clear to me is that I was not living for myself. I wasn't living my purpose. And the reason I couldn't be living my purpose is because all I did was work, right? Even when I wasn't working, I wasn't able to truly appreciate my life outside of work. Nearly cost me my marriage, nearly cost me my children, nearly cost me my sanity. At some point, it's pretty close to causing me to lose my life. But I had to learn. And so I started getting up in the morning and taking these walks because I understood I needed purpose in my life. I had lived so much of my life without purpose, so much of my life without directions, without a destiny, without a path, without a plan, that I was just out there just like alive. I was doing stuff, but I wasn't living. And it needed to change in me first. I needed to get an idea of where that needed to happen. And I started taking these walks, and it's where I would focus on things that I was studying on, because having a wife and 7 children, it's really hard to find some time, to kind of separate yourself out and focus on the things that you need to do or the person you need to be of the greatest value in the lives of the people you love. That was a part of the process for me. Those were steps along that path for me. And so that's why I get pumped up when I'm out here at 4:30 in the morning on the East Coast of the United States, is because I can see where I've come from. I can see my change. I can see my growth. So yeah, it is exciting to me. Like, it's very encouraging to me. It's very motivational for me. And so I do that. And so yeah, I am kind of pumped up, Phoebe, you got that right. But it comes from a place in my life where I've been able to grow. You're trying to explain a well-known concept, but what I'm trying to know, what do I think is the best trigger for change? That's from Noor. I like that question, Noor. I like that question. The best trigger for change, and it's difficult to say, right? Because we use the term change, but what we really mean is grow, which is why I say change is often viewed as a negative thing. So I'll share with you my viewpoint. I'll share with you where I'm at on that. When we talk about change, right, what's the best catalyst for it is, for me, and what happened in my life is, you have to start living first. The primary catalyst for change or growth is living versus being alive. Because as young babies, as young children, they say the brain absorbs, it's great, it's developing. It can take in all of this stuff from the way they're communicated with, the way they interact. It learns language, it learns to perform, it learns to do all of those things, Noah, right? So when we start talking about growth in that sense, what we're looking at is, oh man, like you're growing. So you're changing. So you're putting in time to make that happen. But it's because more than any other time in your life, you're living. And your living is the growth. It's that desire to be somewhere where this person is not putting you, right? Like, I want that cookie. I want that bottle. I want to get my head up straight. Like I'm not happy you keep putting me down here, and I'm not happy down here. Like the silly short that everyone keeps doing, where they lay on the floor and they're like, oh, why am I so short? And like they film their hand on the floor. That's a baby. Like, a baby's down here, it's like, man, it's a carpet. Like, y'all got 3 dogs, it stinks. Like, I don't want to be down here. I want to change, I want to grow. At some point in life, we stop doing that. And as adults, sometimes we beat it out of our children. We tell them to stop, don't be different. Why are you different? Why can't you be regular? You know what I'm saying? Like, it's like stop growing, stop living, start conforming. Start being like everyone else around you. But it makes sense because the history as a species is there is safety in community. There is safety in numbers. And so this prehistorical drive to gather in groups for the purposes of safety and community is innate. So change, the catalyst for change is living, but that's why change can go in different ways. And because when you start living and you start creating challenges for yourself, right? You're making things happen. Let me see. Catherine says 200 plus pound baby. Oops. I'm not sure what that means. America's nightmare. This thing walking the streets. Lauren, unnecessary, Lauren. Unnecessary. I'm so unnecessary. Paige, good morning, Paige. I think Paige dropped in her Cash App in case anybody wanted to send anything to Paige. Also, the channel's Cash App is pinned in the bio in case anybody wanted to contribute to this. That's me. What's you, Catherine? Tell me what's you. This looks epic. Okay, thank you very much. What is that? Cudmap? Phoebe, nah. He looks like he's crazy, but he's preaching a good mindset. Yo, Phoebe, I don't know where you're at right now, Phoebe. I don't know if you're on my side. You said I'm tripping off the Addy. Now you're like, oh, he looks completely sane, but he's got a pretty good message. Phoebe, I feel like Phoebe is imagining me on a corner with this whole beard just caked with mud, no shirt on, with a foil hat, just screaming at the crowd. You need to learn to grow. Your children won't be anything. I'm not insane, Phoebe. Stop it. AC said, Denzel? No, I'm not Denzel. Paige said, please. Okay, Ray, I got you, man. You growing, man. Just I see that, and it's all that matters. Thank you very much. Migs, what you doing tonight? I don't know, maybe watching a game. But anyway, here's the thing. When we start talking about change and we start talking about growth, we start talking about our own personal development, and we start talking about what the catalyst is, it's very big that we understand that it comes from living, right? I told my children this, and I keep sharing it with them. I'm like, hey, listen, you gotta stop looking at stuff that people tell you to look at. Stop looking when somebody says, hey, over there. What's that, right? And I'm gonna tell you what I mean by that is when somebody comes on television, right? When the news comes on television and it starts using keywords, right? They've been doing this for years, long before there was anything called AI. They were like, hey, what words do people respond to? They did studies. They brought people in rooms and they were like, what does this word mean to you? Which is why I started studying words, right? So they were like, how do we elicit things? How do we get things to build people up, right? And the purpose of it, I don't know if it was a positive intent originally. I know it was an intent to be able to make money, is we have to say things in a way that doesn't directly disparage anyone. We have to be conscious, we have to be tolerant, but we want to say things that rouse people up. We need to create an interest in seeing things. There were these old television shows. This old television show, I believe it was Mad TV, that was on Fox, and they would do this thing where they would just be like, it would just be like wild news stories that were like designed with the wording to elicit fear, and it just would be a commercial before a football game would go off. It's like right before the end of the football game, it'd be like, why you don't want to see these around your house and how they can destroy you. At 6 after the news, and you're like, don't want to see these what? What, like, wait a minute, I don't want to be destroyed. Why are you waiting till after tell me now, why are you waiting after the game If there's something that I don't want to see in my house and it can destroy me, I'm in my house now. Like, don't. So there is a design, right? There was a design in words to be able to elicit a response, to make money. And so when we start seeing that, and we start seeing that design, and we start seeing that it's a way that they do studies specifically to get people in a certain emotion and get them in a certain space, that's that, hey, look over there thing, right? So you can be watching, you can be sitting in a room where the news is on or some show is on and you're not paying attention to it, but they'll drop phrases or words in there to grab your attention, and it's a distraction. It keeps you tied to it versus tied to your purpose. And we think we're living because we're consuming it. And we get caught up in consuming and exchanging and debating it that we lose focus that our purpose is actually living. Our purpose is to live. And understand, this is what you have to go back to the genesis of television. TV was created for the purposes of selling something to the masses. Your first shows on television were soap operas because they literally wanted to sell soap. They came on in the daytime for the women who didn't work and were at home. They would create these shows which they did not care about in the least. I believe Johnson & Johnson still owns a couple of soap operas, but they didn't care about the show in the least. It was all one long commercial. Products were in it, and the people who starred in the show starred in the commercials, some of them live. They would go directly from on set to the commercial to sell you soap, right? So everything is to sell you something. It's trying to sell you something. And so now today, how do I grab your ear to sell you something? What do I say to you to sell you something? How do I create this, oh, you need to consume this mindset? How do I keep you here? It's the distraction because you're not living at this point. So the catalyst for change is to go from being alive to living. The catalyst for growth is living for a purpose, having purpose and meaning, having a why to what your actions are. So that is important. And I told my children, life doesn't care. Life doesn't care one way or the other if you get out of bed or you don't. You hear people tell you all the time, hey man, ain't nobody coming to save you. Life doesn't care if you're happy or not. Life is out there. Everything is life, but not everything is living. So when you understand that life is out there and life is happening no matter what, life is going on no matter what, and they say, oh man, life is hard. Life is what life is. The moment you want something is when challenges arise. Challenges is what changes you and helps you grow. It's Kenna said a NOI. Are you saying I'm Nation of Islam, or are you saying NOI in terms of investments? CB said 10,000%. This man is right on. Thank you. Grippy, Obama. You just gonna shout Obama? Obama na? Is it Obama? I don't even know what to say. A television. Tell a vision. I like that. I like the way you put that in there, Andre. I will always fight against hate, no matter the cost. I hear you live that life. Who's that? Austin, the land only. I think it's the land only. I guess that's what that is. Champagne. Hey, my man. Hey, what's going on? Austin said, B&V. We stand with you as a human being. We'll fight them back. We'll fight back, but we fight back by living, right? Your beard is amazing. Listen, go back up in the chat. Somebody told me in the beginning of this freaking talk to shave my beard off and they would pay me. Thank you. Thank you for appreciating what's going on here. Hey, Roy, what's going on? Too late to fix your name, Austin. The one and only. I said the land only. Okay, that's the one. Yo, listen, don't make fun of me. Don't laugh at me, Austin. But I butchered your name. I'm sorry, yo. LeBron UK said, brother, keep the walk up and keep preaching. I was locked in. You're in the right place. Thank you so much. The greatest revenge in the world is life well lived. Right. It is, right? Thank you very much, guys. And that's what I'm trying to say is like, if you lay down and die, like life's not coming. Like somebody might come to say something to you, but life isn't. Like if you fall down in the woods, right? And you die, like if you go out in the woods and you're like, man, I'm sick of this. I'm gonna go out in the woods. Life don't care. Everybody else is still living. Like there may be somebody who cares and they're like, hey, have y'all seen Ray? You know, have y'all seen Becky? Have y'all seen John, James? Where they at? I haven't seen them. And so it's like, oh, well, I don't know where they are. Like, I haven't seen them. Like, you know, and eventually it gets to the point where everybody else keeps going. But life is happening all the time. Life is not coming up to you in the wilderness because you walked away and putting challenges in front of you. Life don't care. It's like, go. I don't care. People keep saying life is hard. No, living is where the challenges come in. But living is also where the growth come in. Because when you start living, you start seeking out challenges. You look for them. I want to find something to fight for. I want to find something to engage in. I want to find something. I need to find something that's going to be a part of my growth and my development. I need to live. Like, listen, I swear to you, I don't know how, man, I believe this phrase is no longer used the way it was once used. There used to be a point where parents would say, if your friend jump off a bridge, are you going to jump off a bridge too? I swear to you, some smart ass kid went out and created bungee jumping simply for the purposes of being able to tell their parents, yeah, I'm jumping off. Like John jumped off, Ray jumped off too, I'm jumping. Because just to kill that phrase so nobody could ask you, hey, if your friend jump off, you gonna jump off too? Yeah, I'm gonna jump off because I'm living. We jumping off. Right? So when we go to that point and we understand that challenge will always create change. You challenge yourself, it will change you. Right? And that change may not always be in a positive way, but it's all about how you process it and how it comes back out of you. Right? A challenge may be something that in the moment hurts you. It changes you, but the way you process it is how it becomes positive. There is no good or bad in the challenge. There is only good and bad in your processing and your output after it, right? It's not about the input. Breaking your leg isn't a bad thing like, you broke your leg. Now, if you owe somebody some money and they come hit you in your leg, like that's a whole other discussion. But if you're working on growing and you're challenging yourself, and in that process, you are skating and you break your leg, and you're like, hey, listen, I did this part wrong, or I know how to do this thing better, or whatever has happened. When that happens to you, it's an opportunity for you to grow. You'll change, right? And it can change you as a fear. You might never get back out there. But for others, it changes us. It gives us determination. It gives us strength. I'll let you know, for a lot of you who may not know, wolf syndrome is a syndrome in when there's an impact, a hard impact to the bone actually comes back stronger, right? It's a process of creating tiny fractures in the bone that are healed up with more bone that is denser and more resilient than your original bone. This is why martial artists do practice with harder and harder items to build up the bone and strengthen it, right? But that comes through challenge. I don't feel good. Like this, dude, I'm looking at it. I know what it does. I'm like, I'm not doing that. I'm like, I'm just not kicking stuff. Like, doing jump squats can do the same thing, right? Maybe not as dense, but it can still create that type of impact. But why is this relevant? Because when we start living by definition requires for us to look for challenges. And those challenges are the things that help us grow. They're the things that change us. They are the things that truly drive us. Right now, guys, I'm not sending you guys away, but I do need to get something to drink. It's gonna take me a couple of moments. I walked up here because Phoebe probably saying I don't need to get one, but I'm getting an energy drink. Right, change is inevitable because the rest, like I said, life doesn't care. Life is moving on. People keep saying, I wanna go back. I hate this new technology. These things are so stupid. Cell phones are dumb. Social media is dumb. It's not going anywhere. Shut up. Like, listen, it's not going anywhere. It's not about the thing, it's about what you do with it. They say the same thing about television. TV, radio is better, it told better stories, they were more entertaining. Like, shut up. Like, stop complaining about new things that are introduced. Become smarter. We've been alive as a species long enough to know that we move forward. And we need to be, you are either going to be in the forefront, a part of the masses, or left behind when it comes to things that are changing, when it comes to life and living life, right? So we have to focus on that. We have to know that. We have to be aware of that. Cheryl said, growth stretches you. It's growing pains. Challenges strengthen you. Evolving hurts, right? And that's changing. If somebody looks at you and they're like, man, you changed, start saying thank you. It's gotta be a thank you, right? Guys, I'm gonna mute this just for a second because I don't want this music. Yeah, they got some music playing in there. I didn't want that music in the background. You know, YouTube will hit you up. They'll be like, listen, we need you to shut this down. That music, you're not licensed to play that music. We're gonna send somebody to get you. I didn't want to get beat up by the YouTube mafia. Talio said he was a heroin addict for 14 years. I'm just trying to get an energy drink. Hey, Talio, somebody said Celsius. Man, I started drinking Celsius, and I'm not one of these people that's like, hey, everything you see on the news is right. Man, but I started looking up some of the ingredients in Celsius. I was like, man, this is radiator fluid. Let me see. Tekka said, you're over here taking advice from a stranger. Get some help. I was gonna get this 20-ounce Red Bull the whole time, people. You can't go wrong with a classic. Red Bull give you wings. I'm already out here zooming. It is 5:20 in the morning, people. Thank you for being here. I'm on the East Coast of the United States. We're talking about change, man. We're talking about change and why change has a negative connotation for some people. How people view change as something that's bad. Something that if someone does it, it's not like it's often used as a negative report or a negative or an indictment of an individual to say, man, you changed, right? It's not the same as, hey, man, you've grown. Hey, man, you've seen, you've developed, you've learned. And we have to understand that change is a part of life. We have to stop being resistant to it. And the way we capitalize most on change is by growing, is by living. And that's where we need to be. Kevin said privacy. Hey, Kevin, privacy indeed. Ric Flair, life is all about change. To change is to live. Indeed, and to live is to change. If we are truly living and we're truly growing, we are changing. We're seeing that. You're still driving your mom's car? Is that to definitely? Krusty, we evolve from personal experience. We do. Andre said, you can't change and be comfortable. True. I said that earlier, man. There's this thing about comfort. There's this thing about things being the way you want them to be. Just so you know, the economical mindset, the economic mindset of this country, this great country of the United States, is driven by change, right? Like capitalism, right? Capitalism is driven by get the next best, right? Get the best right now. Get the next best thing right now. Like get it now, right? Or you're missing out, right? Like we created this like FOMO came from years and years and years of, dude, you gotta be the first one to have this or it's gonna be too late to have, right? You gotta get on this now or you're never gonna be able to get on. And that's created this mentality and this way of living and this thought process that is counterintuitive to focusing on our own lives and focusing on consuming. If you are a consumer, you cannot be a producer. You can't be both. You can't be a person who produces and consumes. You are going to be, there is no, oh, I break even, then you're a consumer. That's worse than just picking a side. You either produce something, you're either a producer who produces something through whatever means that allows for you and your life experience and your living to grow at a greater rate than the expense of your life grows, or you're a consumer and you have consumer debt and you have credit card debt. There's a different debt. That's why they break it down in categories. This country is intentional in this process. So if you're producing something and you borrow money to produce something, that is not the same as consumer debt. If you borrow money to build a business and you put it out into the market, into whatever, it's gonna come back to you as more money than you borrowed. That's not consumer debt. Consumer debt is just all the people walking around getting the next best thing, because we're not changing, we're not growing, we're just buying the next thing, and they've convinced us that having the next best thing is us growing. The economy's growing. Communities are growing. We have more new first-time home buyers. The stocks are going up. They sold more TVs this year than they did last year. People are buying cars again. The banks are giving out more consumer loans. There are more consumer credit cards. The telltale sign that our economy is growing, and this is what, dude, it's crazy. Do you know one of the biggest keys to knowing whether or not a business is growing or not? They do it to you personally. You just have to use it correctly. How much debt is someone willing to extend to you is one of the ways they grade whether or not you are in a positive or negative space. How many of us know our credit score? Like, just drop a hands up in the chat if you know what your credit score is. Somebody came up with that. Like, drop a hands up if you know what your credit score is. If you have any of these credit tracking apps, they put it on the freaking bank accounts now and the credit card apps. Well, hey, here's your current credit score. Here's your credit score, right? Why? Because your credit score tells you who you are. Van said my credit score is 1,500. Lauren knows what her credit score is. I know what my credit score is. Krusty said my credit score is void. Like the word void? Or is that are you saying when you put in for the credit applications, they just put void on it and you're like, I guess that's my credit score. That letter they send you to say, here's why we made this decision, void. Like the big red stamp. Krusty, that's funny. I like that. I can't read that, Dennis. Stamp void with the outline. Mine is damn near void as well. Right, so we have, but this is a thing. Like, it's a thing now. Like, why do I need to know? Some dude came up with this series of tests that he created to say this is the criteria that a person needs to meet to know and establish their credit worthiness. And he used to work in the credit card industry when he came up with it. You can research it. I haven't gone over it in a while and I can't quite remember what the guy's name is, but there's a reason we have a whole bunch of them now, right? It's not just TransUnion. There's a few of them, but why? Why? Because the more you know about your credit score, the more you watch your credit score, the more you work on building your credit score, the more you're telling the industry, the more you're telling the world, I'm looking to consume. It's not the same as business credit, which is why business credit works different. Yeah, you might start off, they were like, hey, we need to put your name on the line to start this new business. But then when you start to show that the money that I take makes more money, the bank is like, bet. Because if you make money, we make money. Here's more money. Here's more money. Because you're not a consumer. If you consume, they understand all you're doing is building more debt. You're not making anything from it. You bought a credit card. You took a loan out on your house to renovate your house. You use your credit card to buy a television. You use all your rewards points. You know why they give out rewards points? They give out rewards points because studies show that people use 20% more On average, most people spend 80% more than what they're given in rewards. That's insane. Why do they give you $25 gift cards? Because they know you're gonna come in here with this $25 gift card and you're gonna spend $75 because they got this thing that's $100 and it's currently 10% off. So now it's only $90. You got a $25 gift card. So you're gonna use that gift card. That's gonna take it down to what? $65? And now it's at $65 and you got a reward credit card with the store. So you're gonna get 2% back in points. Of course you're gonna use it. Of course you're gonna buy it. They're gonna give you another gift card because they know that you're gonna spend more than you're taking out with that money they're giving you. Profit margins are freaking huge for them. We have to go away from being consumers, but I'm saying that because this is how our country is built. And we believe we're changing, we believe we're growing by the way we consume. We've been convinced that living is what you can consume and how you can consume, how to go from one house to another house. How to buy one house, live in it, let the value go up, sell it, buy a more expensive house. Any skinwalkers? Dude, I don't think y'all understand. It looks like I'm in a little city. You see how dark it is out here? I keep trying to explain to you guys. It is, man, it's deer out here. Okay, y'all wanna know how dark it is out here? This is how dark it is out here. Yeah, I'm still on camera. I'm still right here. I'm still right here. This is how dark it is. You can see my outline if I hold it up against the sky. Dude, I'm out here. It's dark out here. Skinwalkers, now I hear sirens. I done yelled and woke somebody up. They're calling the people on me. If I start running people, this time it might not be for deer. If I start running this time, it might not just be for deer. Hey man, so what are we talking about? What is this change thing about? What is this growth thing about? It's about coming to a realization and an understanding that we have to take the opportunity in our hand to start living. And we have to understand when we start living, there are challenges. You want anything, there are gonna be challenges. You want a promotion, you wanna get something to eat. Man, I waited my whole life to have children, to do some of the things I do intentionally, because I remember it happening to me as a child. I would be in my room and they got this short where they're like, why do moms do this? And it's like a kid sitting in his room and like the mom calls his name, like Malcolm. And then the kid's like, what? Silence. What? What? Like, right, why are you like, and the parent doesn't respond. And now that I'm a parent, my children are trained. Listen, if I call your name, come to me, find me. Don't what me, don't, how can I help you? No. Now, the older ones got cell phones. I'll call you in a second. Here, come here real quick. Send you a message, I need you up here real quick. What? Listen. I'm gonna need you to go downstairs. Wait a minute, I walked. You could have messaged me and told me, no, listen, I didn't want you to do that. I needed you up here first. First thing I needed you to do was get to me. Like, I'm the parent. I need you to go downstairs. I need you to go in the refrigerator. I need you to get that drink on the third shelf and bring it up to me. Bring it up. You ain't bring no cup. You gonna just bring me a bottle? Like what do I look like? So the reason I bring that up is because we were talking about comfort before. We're talking about challenges in life. And we're talking about when you want something, there's work you have to do to get to it. I got little worker bees in my house now. Oh, I love my young children. My young children are happy to do stuff for daddy. Like my girls, oh, I got two sons, I got 5 daughters, right? My youngest daughters, they be like, Daddy, what can I get for you? I'll be like, sweetheart, thank you. They just come in the room, Daddy, what can I get you? I'm like, yes, come here, baby. I don't even need nothing. I just start making up stuff. Hey, could you get those socks over there for Daddy? Yeah, no, just put them in that drawer right there. Listen, man, listen. Life presents challenges. When you start living, not life, living presents challenges. When you start living and you start saying, I want something, I want to be something, I want to do something, I want to achieve something, challenges come up immediately. You have two options. You can face that challenge head on, learn the lesson that the challenges present to you, overcome those challenges, grow, and look for additional challenges, or you can get comfortable. There's a point where we get comfortable because we start living challenges that other people put in front of us. School. I had to teach my children. I'm like, hey, listen. School is to learn how to learn. That's the purpose of school. You need to be a good person and you need to learn how to learn. School is not about what you learn in school. I don't remember third grade geography. Like, listen, that show, Are You Smarter Than a Fifth Grader? Man, that show came on and I didn't think much about it till I had a son who was in the 5th grade. And we're watching this show and he is kicking my tail. I mean, he is, and he's like, no, we just learned that. It's da-da-da. Daddy, you didn't know? That's my oldest son. I'm like, listen, I might not be smarter than the 5th grader, but I can beat one up. You can I ain't scared of you. Stop calling me dumb because I didn't know what the freaking capital of Norway was in 1878. Like, I didn't know. I'm not studying that. I didn't know. Like, I don't remember this stuff. I didn't need that stuff to get this loan, to get this house. I didn't need to know that stuff. That wasn't on my credit report. Jesus Christ. People, I just walked into a tree. Man, y'all got one job. Y'all got one job, to look out for me and make sure stuff like that don't happen. Y'all just sit there and watch me walk into a tree, man. Crypto Max. Speed said, how to deal with bad parents who don't support you. How to deal with bad parents who don't support you? I'll tell you what my son told you. I'll tell you what my son told me. My son told me that there aren't bad parents. They're good parents and they're great parents. He said bad parents are people who want to destroy you. He said those are just bad people. Those aren't bad parents. People who take actions that destroy you. My son's 16. I'm telling you, I'm proud of my boy. But he's 16 and he's sharp. So he keeps me on my toes. And so there's been some conversations where I had to come back to him and be like, okay, listen, look, I'm not saying you was right. I'm just saying you had an understanding. So look, the way my son shared it with me, and I thought it was very introspective, because I asked him specifically, I said, son, what's the difference between a good parent and a bad parent? And he thought about it. He took his time. He's always been very introspective. And he said, well, Daddy, I don't really think there's a good parent and a bad parent. I mean, I think there's good parents and there's great parents. He was like, no, like being a parent, you know, you got a lot of responsibility. He doesn't understand what all the responsibilities are because he's 16, but he understands that parents have those, right? He says, like a bad parent would be somebody who intentionally does you harm. He says, but that's not a bad parent, that's just a bad person, right? So my son tells me this, and I'm like, dude, like that's pretty sharp for you, and I'm thinking about it. And I'm thinking about as a child, that's difficult to understand. Because as children, we don't, like I didn't know, I knew I was poor when I was young, but I didn't know how poor I was until I got older. And I was like, oh, I was hella poor. Like we climbed in dumpsters for food. We turned paper food stamps into change to pay rent and buy gas. Like we were hella poor, right? So it took me getting there to know that. But my memories of my life are good. Like tight corduroy pants, bell bottoms, you know, low income housing. I didn't know what it was. It was just my life, right? My dad, like, he was a tax dodger. I didn't know that's what he was at the time, but we moved every year. Between me going up and down the East Coast with my dad and going back and forth between my dad and my mom and my stepdad, like I was all over the place. But it was just my life. I just adapted to what life was. But what I learned by being young is that how to survive. So I survived at that point. So when we start talking about parenting and the difference between a good parent and a bad parent and how to deal with bad parents, it's difficult to do as a child because you don't know you have bad parents. But when you become an adult, suck it up, dude. Like, seriously. Like, at some point, I get it. Like, dude, it's bad. It's bad, right? What are parents gonna do? Bad people are bad people. That doesn't matter. Like I really took that from my son. He's like, yo, a bad person is gonna always look to hurt you. That's what bad people are. Whether they're your parents, whether they're your classmates, your teacher, bad people are gonna look to hurt you. There has to be a point when you become an adult, there has to be a point when it's on you to take care of you, that you don't become a bad parent to yourself, that you don't beat yourself down, that you don't hold yourself back, that you don't make up excuses for why you are the way you are, that you don't become what the world has told you you gotta be, right? You gotta grow from that. You gotta figure that out. And no, it's not easy. Dude, it's not easy. No, it's not easy. But it's the work we gotta do, and that's the difference between living and being alive. That's the difference between surviving and growing. Like, we just, like, I'm just trying to make it to the end of the week. Dude, what? No, I got plans. When you start to work on yourself, and that's the thing. Dude, I always get his name wrong. Jim Rome, John Rome, whichever one it was. John? Maybe Jim. Whichever one it is. He has the comment, he has a statement, he says, work harder on yourself than you do on your job. What does that mean? I mean, what does that actually mean, to work harder on yourself than you do on your job? It means to actually put in time on you, to actually invest in you, to care for you the way you say you want others to care for you. Don't ask me to show up for you and you don't show up for you, right? Don't ask me to help you pick something up and you ain't picking it up no more. What do we got in the chat? The son said, you know what, everyone's opinion matters. That's a good parent. Like you, everybody, including your own sons and everybody, but yourself matters, right? Yes, anything for clout, right? Popular. I'm not sure about all of that, what it said. Which country are you from? United States, B. Born and raised. Proud to be an American, 'cause at least I know I'm free. Sing the song, people. Omar, I just answered that one. Ruben, work harder on yourself than you do on your job. Indeed, means you're smart. The Sun 7 says, oh my God, you're a star, you're a popular parrot. Yay, he called me a popular parrot. I appreciate your time and your contribution, son. Let me see. What else do we have here in the chat? 7, yay, you're a boy. Oh man, that's, amen, Abney. There we go, Sharon, throw that American flag up. That's what's up. No name, cutting in and out now. Oh, I'm lagging, let me get out of this spot. My bad. I probably got in too close to a government building. I think it's Sun 7. Sun 7 was trying to cut the feed. Let me know when it gets better, guys. Is it better? Signal getting better? Oh, man. What's up, man? Be safe. Definitely being safe. Thank you for being here, guys. Thank everybody for dropping in and being part of the conversation. Listen, change is often viewed negatively. It's often feared because comfortable is comfortable for a reason. Comfortable is, man, you ain't supposed to use a word to explain a word. I don't know a better way to explain comfortable than comfortable. Like the definition of comfortable. Like I don't know a better way to say that. Like when you get there, when you find it, right? And it's different for everybody. There's different things that are comfortable for everyone. We all have a way that we may define it differently than others. But man, oh man, when you figure it out, what comfort is for you and how you want to live and how you want to be, man, there you go, Sherilyn. That's the problem with comfort, right? Because it's all of those things. You're all right. No name is stagnant. Cheryl, complacent. Ruben, peaceful. It is all of those things. It is all of those things at the same time. But it feels good. It can be stagnant, but it feels good. Your body's working and repairing itself when you sleep. So you need it. But when you get comfortable and they're like, get up, and you're like, man, that's where my life had to change. It's because the only reason I got out of bed was to go to work. I didn't get out of bed for me when it was my time off. When it was my time to care for me, when it was my time to look out for me, when it was my time to build me, work on me, grow me, focus on me, I didn't get up because I didn't matter. I didn't matter to me. Stop asking somebody else to care more about you than you care about yourself. You think you get a promotion from working hard on your job? Nah, you get a promotion from working hard on yourself. You think you get great at something by working hard on that thing? Nah, you get great at something by working hard on yourself. That thing is just the conduit through which you develop that greatness. School teaches you how to learn. It's where you learn how to learn. And then when you weaponize learning and you turn it into something to use to live, to help you grow, it changes you. And I mean in a good way, in a positive way, in a strong way, in a powerful way. It changes you. It helps you become. There's this whole concept now in society, in our life, where those with knowledge are standing around turning debates into profit, right? It's like, I'm standing here, I'm arguing with somebody, and this argument is money for me. Watch me argue, pick a side. Debates about winning and losing. It's not. I think it was Ben Shapiro who says that. A debate is about winning and losing. It's not. A debate is about exchange ideas. You debate, you consider, you contemplate. You can't have a debate if you don't consider the other person's side. That's not a debate, that's an argument. It's an argument. I don't care what you say. I'm not considering anything you say. I'm just saying that I'm right, and I'm gonna yell at you until you accept that I'm right. I'm trying to prove you wrong. That's not what a debate is. That's not what a debate is. A debate's not about proving the other person wrong. It's about establishing and presenting your point in a way that is compelling and easy for people to understand. That's what it's about. That's what we do. But first, you have to do it to yourself. Do you believe? Do you believe the stuff you tell other people? Like, are you living it? Dude, I keep telling the story about me and how I went into sales and my experience as a young personal trainer and not understanding my own value. And I hated sales for a long time because I personally thought sales, what's that, King? School doesn't teach you how to learn and control what you want to know. No, it doesn't. That's what you let it do. See, that's the problem. That's the problem is we believe what we allow people to do to us is what the intended purpose of it is. No, dude, you have to understand. Like you can't learn until you learn how to learn. Why do you think they teach you shapes before they teach you letters and numbers? Why do you think they teach you patterns before they teach you arithmetic? Right? You have to learn how to learn, man. You have to learn how to learn. Let me get back to what I was saying. You have to believe what you say. You have to believe how you walk. You have to mean, like the things that you try to convince other people of, the things that you watch other people say, and you're like, yeah, I believe, yeah, I'm on your side, yeah, you winning. Right, tell them, man. Yeah, get them. Things you go in church and you stand up and you be like, amen, preach. Then you go out to church, you 38 years old with a wife. You got a 16-year-old mistress who you just got pregnant. Come on, man. Come on, listen. You gotta practice, as they say, you gotta practice what you preach, because when you practice it, it works on you. You gotta preach to yourself first. You gotta minister to yourself first. I had to minister to myself first. I had to start getting up in the morning and tending to me. I can't expect somebody else to care more about me than I care about myself. We have to grow. We have to understand that this thing we call change that happens in life and the challenges that we face require for us to be a part of our own growth and development, people. It doesn't happen otherwise. I'm just sharing, man. I'm just sharing. The reason I say school teaches you how to learn is because if you believe, it's early in school. Soon as you hit middle school, right? Elementary school, boom, blow through it. Here in the United States, you know what the requirement is to graduate from high school? You know what level of education you need to graduate from high school? Anybody let me know. Does anybody know what level of education is necessary in order for you to be able to take a freaking GED test or a high school diploma test and not have to go to school anymore? You can take it as soon as you have enough knowledge. You want to know how kids are getting into freaking college at 9 and 10 years old? Somebody tell me, what level of education do you need to graduate high school? King said, did you really need to know that? Nah, by going to a controlled environment. I don't even know what you're talking about right now. Speed. I wasted 2 years of my life not studying because my parents used to shout and not support me, and that actually hurt my mental health. I used to love them a lot and feel sad. That's why I have bad parents. How old are you? How old are you, Speed? Yes, somebody please tell me, what's the minimum education required for you to get a diploma in the United States? Does anybody know? I don't approach women because I'm black. Thank you very much for sharing. Somebody said 2 years is nothing. People react to self-reflect, take internal inventory, face the hard stuff, walk in authenticity. My dark skin, dude, stop playing in my chat. Rock Kevin. School, I'm talking about school now. Speed, 19. All right, Speed, you're 19. Have you finished school? Nope, Sharon, that's not what it takes. United States, you can test out of school in the United States with an 8th grade education. The level of education required to take a test to get a diploma in the United States and apply to college is 8th grade. You need an 8th grade education to move on. That's it. That's it, that's all. You need an 8th grade education, right? Why are we sitting in schools after that? Why are we sitting in high school? And you're like, man, why are you teaching me this? Why do I need to learn statistics? Dude, why am I learning AP world history? Are you gonna be a world history buff? Is that how you're gonna make your living? Are you gonna become an AP world history teacher? No. Purpose of school is to learn. It's not to learn the things, it's to learn how to learn. It's to learn the skills of how learning works. When we get a realization and an understanding, this is why so many people fall behind. This is why so many people are being drawn into this conversation about, oh, the schools are indoctrinating our children and blah, blah, blah. That's all bull crap. You're parents, you're at home. You have an impact, you have an influence on your children. Your children go to school, they share their thoughts with other children. Children are looking at us, literally. Listen, I got 7. My teenage children look at us and they're like, man, this is stupid. This stuff y'all talking about, it's a joke to them. I identify as a furry. We out here in fucking, excuse me, I'm so sorry for using profanity. We're out here arguing with other adults, losing friends and family, turning against one another on things that our children aren't even thinking about. Because someone told us to look at it. Look, that distraction. Stop living your life and look at what I'm telling you to look at. It's way more important. Look. You don't need to put up a freaking sign for a pervert to go into a girl's bathroom. They've been doing it for years. You need to care for your children. Here's the thing. How many people think that only men are perverts? Oh, you ain't gotta worry about women. Women in a women's bathroom are perfectly fine around my 5-year-old daughter. My 9-year-old daughter is perfectly fine in a restroom around women because no woman would ever molest a child. Get out of here, man. Stop being silly. Stop falling into the trap of, hey, look over there. Life is about living. We have to live. We have to identify that it's time for us to live, and we have to start living and stop just being alive. Stop just being someone who follows. We have to participate in our own lives. We have to. Usman said, you're damn right. Thank you, Usman. Zai King said, I'm 64. They taught us lies. No, you just learned the wrong lessons. See, this is what I'm trying to say about school. And this is the thing, you're 64 and you're still blaming other people. Well, you're 64 now, Zai King. You're 64. Why are you still talking about what you learned in school? What are you learning in life? If you graduated at 18, what, you've been out of school now for 40 some years? 30 some years? How long you been out of school and you're still talking about what they taught you? They taught you lies? Man, fix your mind. Like, here's what they taught you. They taught you how to learn. They taught you how to pick up a book and read. They taught you how to contemplate and consider. Why do you think they had you write essays? Why do you think reading comprehension? Listen, there's 2 skills you need to learn in school, and both of them teach you how to learn. You need to learn math, and you need to read and comprehend. That's what you need to learn. That's it. Dude, you learn it, you can learn everything else. You learn that, you can learn everything else. If you learn basic math and you learn how to read and comprehend, you can learn any level of math you want to. You can learn any system of economics you want to. You can learn how to invest. You can learn how to sell. You can learn how to build a business. You got to step out and do it. School is not about what you learn in school. It's how you learn to learn in school. See, this is the problem, is now they think that it's the thing that you're teaching. The thing that you're teaching has never mattered. Because if you get bright enough to start reading and start seeing the world around you as what it actually is, then you change. You change through growth. you be like, man, damn. Speed said, but what's the point of learning something which you never use? Like, if someone wants to become a mathematician, then what's the point of learning history? Exactly. That's my point. That's why I just said the level of education required to graduate from the United States is 8th. That's like pre-algebra, maybe algebra. So you learn how to do like the perimeter, the average, the volume and percentages. That's what you need. You use that stuff in life. You use it. What's 10% off? What's 2% back in returns? How do I turn a percent to a decimal? I can multiply that by the whole to figure out what the part is. I'll know what that is. 2% is 0.02. 0.02 times 100 is going to move the decimal place 2.2 places to the right. That's $2. So if I spend $100, I get $2 back in rewards. That's stuff that you use. If the velocity of a projectile launched on Wednesday from Minnesota travels along a determined path for a plane that left from Australia at 6 o'clock that same evening and West Coast time, when will the two run into a pelican over Antarctica? I don't need to know that. How much money do you need to put in your bank account if you've committed to investing 15% of your income? Here's how much I make an hour. Here's how much they take out in taxes as a percentage. Here's how much I have left over. I multiply that by 15%, which is 0.15. I've learned long multiplication. I now know how to figure out what my repeated investment needs to be per month for me to invest 15%. Now, I just need to have the discipline and develop the skill set to be able to do it. You learn how to learn. What's illogical? What's illogical, Brandon? Talk to me. When you get away from controlled curriculum, who cares about the curriculum? You're still thinking about it wrong. Zai King, you're still thinking about it wrong. See, that's the distraction. That's the distraction, Zai King. They're putting books about gays in school. How old were you when you figured out Bert and Ernie were a freaking gay couple on Sesame Street? It didn't take me long. All right, man, I think they more than just roommates. I mean, come on, man. It's about learning how to learn. People keep pointing you in a direction and say, look at that. Look what they're teaching. Critical race theory. That's stupid. But it's something to argue about. Oh, look how bad it is. Look how they're indoctrinating and changing the minds. Does it matter? It matters if you're not involved in your children's life. See, we want to get mad at athletes for their behavior because they're teaching our children the wrong thing, right? We're in a freaking generation that grew up on Eminem. You can't be more counterculture. I'm counter to the black culture because I'm white. I'm counter to the white culture because I speak and I perform as if I'm black. You can't be more counterculture. And everybody's sitting around here looking, they're demonizing people. Before Eminem, it was rock and roll. Rock and roll was going to be the death. Before rock and roll, it was the blues. It's going to be the death to humanity. It's going to be the death to the Christian ideals of America. Come on, man. You go to school to learn how to learn. If you went to school and you learned what they taught you in school, and you only believe that all you know is what they taught you, then you are the one who's brainwashed. They did exactly what you allowed them to do. You allowed them to indoctrinate you into a belief system that you only know what we tell you to know. You missed the lesson. How many of you have ever heard the album The Miseducation of Lauryn Hill? right? It's this rap album. It's a great rap album. Lauryn Hill's a black artist. She was with the refugees, the Fugees. I believe they're from Jamaican and Haiti, places like that, up in New York. She released her first album, one of the greatest albums ever produced, ever released. And many people missed it. They missed the point of it. At the beginning of the album, they start calling roll. And they're going through these names and they get to her name and they say, Lauryn Hill. She doesn't answer. And the entire album, the entire discussions throughout the remainder of that class are about love. And she wasn't there. It's the missed education of Lauryn Hill. It's the day that they talked about love and how you're supposed to love and how love is supposed to feel. She missed it. So if you believe that going to school is about indoctrinating you, it's because you believe everything they tell you. They teach you how to read and they tell you what to read. But they tell you what to read so you can read and comprehend. Multiple choice question. That's why there's a difference between a GED and an SAT. GED, they have you read a passage and then you select what you think is closest to the meaning. SAT, they have you read a passage and you need to write a response as to what you heard, what you believe the intended message was. They're not the same. You learn how to learn. And then once you learn how to learn, you have to learn how to implement. You have to learn how to internalize. You have to learn how to reproduce. I tell my children all the time, I says, man, all you need to do when you go to school is be the best version of you can. Do your best. What pisses me off is when I know you're better than this. 16-year-old son, math has always been easy. Always been easy. He's in his last 2 years of college. His last 2 years of high school, he's taking college level math courses. Math that I never took. 2 years ago, I was like, man, I don't remember any of this stuff. This year, I was like, man, I never even took this class. I never even was there. I never even did this stuff. I almost fell. But what is it saying? All I'm saying to my son is, hey, dude, like, you're good at math. Here's my thing. You're learning how to learn. You're learning how to be the best version of yourself. Because it's easy, you have to challenge yourself. Your teachers can't, because your teachers are trying to teach 35 students, not all of which know how to do what you know how to do the way you know how to do it. Not everybody can interpret and understand things the way you can. Don't wait for the teacher. Be the best version of you. Work on you. You don't do extra math because you're trying to get a better grade or you're trying to get a higher score. You work more on math and you work ahead because you're developing you. You're developing your understanding. You're developing your knowledge. You're developing your growth. That's why you work ahead. I just need you to be the best version of you. Listen, read the world history. Of course, look at the slides. Go find something else out about it. Go pull up another article. Search that name that they're talking to you about. This person was in power in a country that was supported by millions. Why? Let's find out more about Napoleon. Let's find out more about the time. Let's find out more about the people. Am I telling you to go out and make Napoleon great? No, but at least know. At least learn. You don't have to agree with it. But there's no reason not to learn it. I'm telling you, the purpose of school is for you to learn how to learn. And then we have to learn how to implement. We have to stop saying, schools are doing this and schools are doing that. What are we doing as parents? The same people who are telling us that the schools are horrible and the schools are doing things to indoctrinate and wash the minds of our children are the same ones who are saying you need to be more involved as a parent. If you were more involved as a parent, your child wouldn't be doing this. Like, pick one. Pick one. Is it the school or is it the parent? Pick one. It's because we're walking around and everybody's telling us, look at that, look at that, look at that. Look at that, be mad about this, be mad about that, argue about this, argue about that. Or go live your life. Take what you've learned, apply it, invest in it, and live your life. The key, the thing that's missing is discipline. This is what they're not teaching. This is what they're not teaching is that, hey, you have to stick to it. Sometimes things get difficult. And just because things get difficult doesn't mean that you give up. You have to develop discipline. They tell you to be consistent. You can't be consistent at something that you have not learned how to do, that you have not developed a skill in. That's why discipline is misunderstood by so many people, is because we're trying to be consistent before we've even developed a skill. You cannot perform math consistently if you don't know what shapes are. All our letters are, all our numbers are shapes. Literally, 0 is a circle. It's the most powerful number we have. 0 increases everything and reduces everything by the largest amount. You want to increase something? You want to increase the value of something quickly? Add a 0 to the back end of it. Don't add 0 to it, put a 0 behind it. Turns $5 into 50. Turns 50 into 500. Add 100 to $5. Turns into 105. Multiply 5 by 1, gives you 5. Multiply 5 by 1 with a 0 behind it, gives you 50. This is what I'm trying to tell you, is you learn how to learn. Our letters, our freaking numbers, they're shapes. So they have to teach us shapes first. They have to teach us patterns first so we can learn how to work with numbers. Now we know how to work with numbers. Stop bitching about not knowing how to budget. You know the numbers, you know how to do the math, you're just not willing to do the work. You're not willing to sit down and do the hard work of pulling yourself in, of restraining yourself, of controlling yourself and disciplining yourself. Anything that you want to do in life, I don't care if you agree with me politically, I don't care if you agree with me about investing, finances, I don't care any of those things. What I care about is that you have the ability to learn how to do whatever you want to do. And if you're looking at me or you're looking at anybody else and you're blaming them for your condition, what are you doing? I had the audacity to walk into the office of the company I work for and said, I want to draft a letter to the CEO. I asked my manager to help me draft a letter to the CEO to tell them why they should be paying us more based on how much the company makes. Who am I? Who do I think I am? Work on me. You want to move up in your job? Work on you. Work on being a better version of you. You want to have a better relationship with your family? You want to have a better relationship with your spouse, with your children, with your coworkers? Work on you. Work on being a better version of you. Stop trying to think that other people need to become a different thing for you to be in their life. We walk around and take so much of everybody else's stuff home with us. Legacy starts at home, but home is us. We got to work on us. Not in light of what someone else tells us we need to be. We have to work on us to be whatever it is we want to be. I don't care about your political views. But at least people who have strong political views work on understanding what their political views are. And when you work on understanding what your political views are, you have confidence, you have words to put behind it. You have a way of stating it that makes sense, that you can convey and compel others. That's all I'm trying to say. This walk and talk that I did in the morning, I used to walk and talk to myself. And the focus of my walk and talk is, man, you got to work on you. I don't care what you're going through in life. I don't care what your hardships are. I don't care where your difficulties are. I don't care if they're with your children. I don't care if they're with your fitness. I don't care if they're with your finances. I don't care if it's with your faith, your job, your family. I don't care where your issues are. You have got to work on you. You can't keep expecting that you can take moves to make other people's change. Got 2 teenage children, people. I want to appreciate you all for being here this morning. Again, I want to say thank you. Thank you. If you haven't done it yet, please hit the thumbs up, hit the like, subscribe, and share. I need to end this. I need to get in the house and get with my children as they get ready for their day, but I want to share this one last thing with you. My daughter, it's a difficult time for my daughter. My oldest daughter is facing some challenges with coming of age. She's 14. She's been in her first relationship. And it ended. The relationship ended. And I talked to my daughter. My daughter answers. She knows all the answers. She's like, yeah, I know. There's stages of grief. And this final one is acceptance. That's the final stage. You got to accept it. And I'm talking to my daughter, and she says, listen, I understand. She said, I know the right thing to do. Right? She says, I know the right thing to do. And I know by not doing the right thing, it's only impacting me. But I also know that I don't want to hear certain things. I don't want to arrive at a certain place. And I'm like, sweetheart, I'm here to love you and support you. You know the answers. I can't make you take action. And I'm not mad at you for being 14 and going through the experience. I'm not mad about what you're going through. I know how it's going to impact you in the future. I know how loving you are and how caring you are. Hey, I get it. I get it. I'm here. You know what to do, and you know why you're not doing it. And you know how it's impacting you. Whatever you do, sweetheart, I'm here to support you. It doesn't matter. You ever need to cry, you need to talk, you need to laugh, I'm here. Here's the thing, people. I can't be here if I'm trying to make her be someone. I can't make her be somebody. I can't make her do something. My job as her father is to love her. I got to work on me because I'm sitting here watching my daughter struggle. Man, that hurts a father. You think I want that? I never understood when my parents said this is hurting me more than it's hurting you. It hurts. That's what Big Daddy does. People, change, challenge. Change is used in such a negative context. We're told to change. We're told that oh, you're changing. It's said in a way like you've done something bad, people. Don't be afraid to change, people. Remember, here at BNV Finance Fixers, we have a strong understanding that it takes discipline in whatever you do. Discipline has 4 pillars: repetition, patience, consistency, and perseverance. Apply those appropriately and in that order, and you can point discipline at anything and achieve. I want to thank you all for being here. I want to thank you all for taking the time to walk with me this morning. If you haven't hit that like button, please double tap the screen. Visit the channel, like, subscribe, share. I'm here every morning, Monday through Saturday, between 4:30 and 6:30. Thank you for being here. Thank you for the love. Black Angel, I'm shutting up right now. Hey guys, as always, keep showing up, keep blowing up, keep growing up. Until next time, people, take care. God bless.